Professor Wes Oblivion. Today we'll be talking about dating. I had a conversation with a friend of mine a couple of days ago, and he was asked me my standpoint on dating, my wife and I's, and we're not a big fan of dating. We don't do dating here, and we start the children off knowing that they are not allowed to have girlfriends and boyfriends way before that process begins, so that there's not a struggle or an issue. Why do we feel that way? Because in dating, it's just pretending to be in a relationship that you're not, and you're doing that at an age where you haven't even learned who you are and what you want to be, what you want to obtain in life. So, once again, you're behaving and pretending to be an adult, and you're not. The problem I have with that is you're a child for so long a time, so short of a time, that adulthood, once you reach that, there's no turning back. We want you to enjoy your childhood as much as possible. Run, play, do what it is you want to do. Develop yourself, grow. Learn to know what you want to do with your life, who you want to be. The easier that you can be in a relationship is the way of knowing who you are and what you want. If you don't know yourself, how can you be with someone? How can you share of yourself? How can you grow with somebody when you haven't grown enough on your own? So with that being said, dating is pretending to be adults or pretending to be in a relationship that really matters, and it's not. And in this culture, it gives you licensing to kiss on you, to feel on you, to start that fire. Now with girls, they give themselves. They give themselves all of it. They fall in love, and they start planning about marriage, children. They start planning the future. This leaves a girl distraught when they left. Boys, it starts a fire. That physical fire, that, yeah, I want some. Yeah. That doesn't turn off either. So now you have the broken girl who gave everything because she wanted to be in a relationship. And the boy who's got a taste of that loving, that affection, that possibly sex. You know, as men, that stuff don't turn off. Now we need more. So if we're not getting here, we got to go elsewhere. We got growing here, we got learning, and now we're going to put a relationship in the mix as well. No, it's not. It's not what we believe is possible. Now, again, you disagree, that's fine. I'm in a position in my life to agree and disagree. And I'm not going to get worked up over what you believe, and I feel as though you shouldn't get too worked up over mine. If this is something that you don't want to listen to, don't watch me, or make a comment. Let me know how you feel. But regardless, here we don't do dating. We want you to grow up to be the person that you're supposed to be, that God would have you be. So that way when you get into the relationship at whatever age you deem as an adult, which we consider 21, 20, you're pretty much the person you're going to be, and we're not going to try to enforce. We'll just advise. But we've moved out of that position as parents. Our leadership stops at a certain point. Now it's a camaraderie, it's a companionship of sorts that we can help advise, but we've pretty much taught you all we can after these last 20 some odd years. There's really not a whole lot that you shouldn't know, and we should be comfortable with where we raised you as children to be this adult to make these conscious decisions. Being a child is very short-lived. We want you to enjoy that. Run, play. There's nothing wrong if you like that girl. Nothing wrong. We don't say, oh, get away from the girls. Absolutely not. Girls, stay away from the boys. Absolutely not. Hang out with the boys. This is the only time in a life when you can hang out with all the boys. Yeah. Because you're not committed to one, you can hang out with all of them appropriately with people around. And that way you can get to know the kind of guy you like. The kind of guy that'll hold the door for you. The kind of guy that'll say how you smell. Takes notice of your makeup or your hair or your outfit. Yeah. Because once you've had sex with them, that gazelle has been captured. There's no pursuit left. Now, it's not all cases, but in some, I don't want it to be mine where my daughter's just destroyed. I love him, I gave him everything. Or to my son who's like, yeah, she didn't give me no more, so I balled out on her. We got babies' mothers, and I've done all that. The reason I advise against it is because I've done it. I have children I've abandoned because my affections were misplaced, because they weren't honed, they weren't taught. I wasn't given the knowledge of how to love and cultivate a relationship. Was not. These things I've learned from the Bible, from God, from experience, from screwing up my marriage. Don't want my children to live like that. I want them to enjoy their lives. And then when they pick a partner, a spouse, they enjoy that person. They like them genuinely, without additives, without sex, without, I like you genuinely. You're fun, you're cute, you're pretty, we have fun together. Now, when we embark on this journey, whether we can or can't have sex, I still like you. I'll still be with you. I'll still pursue you. Has it worked out for me? Hey, I have quite a few children. And none of my children are unhappy in their relationships. Some of them chose not to have them at this point in time because they have not found the right person. I've raised my daughter knowing the tricks of the whores that are out there, of the men who pursue you and want to be with you till we get what we came for. And after you've given everything, we've gotten that one thing, and we've left you with nothing because all we wanted was something. And that's not going to work for my daughters. If that works for yours, don't tell them what you know as a parent, and that'll give them enough room to go hang themselves. As parents, we're supposed to pass this information on. I've taught my sons about what it means to be a whore, to sleep around, to hurt women, to play with their emotions, because society and how it is a man, we could do that. Nah, man. Another man gonna look at me like, yo, you some kind of punk, yo, word, Yo, check this out, bro. I'm gonna pass all that too. I'm too old for the games. I'm not gonna have my children falling victim to the lies. So that's why we do not condone dating. We believe as though dating should be really considered as courting, where you should be learning about the person. You should be learning about them in order to marry them, learning how their mannerisms enhance yours, how we can outdo each other with kindness, how we can want to be with each other the right way. Meaning, the absence of sex and then the presence of sex. Because sex, baby, that's one of God's greatest. And if you could just share it with her, then it doesn't make it special. But when you could share it with this one person for the rest of your life, to the point where you're comfortable with all aspects, that's the gift. Because your children get to see that. Your children want to emulate that. That's when you get the strong family ties. You get that bonding. But in the absence of genuine companionship, there's conflict and issues. And no better person to watch and see that is the child that has been brought forth by that. It gets to witness that in the household, in the relationship. Then they start to believe that that's a normal occurrence. That's normal. We should live that way when I'm with my spouse. I prefer not to. I've done this. I'm not speaking to you out of things I've read. This is out of my personal experience. I've screwed up many a relationship. I've abandoned 2 daughters. And I've been blessed to have 9 children with my wife. And screwed that up. But God is a redeemer. Brought me back with her. We've successfully sustained a marriage of 23, 24 years. And with that being said, I've seen the fruit and I've seen my folly. And together, I've channeled that energy to giving my children the benefit of knowledge that I have to sustain a relationship that honors God and gives them the most pleasure while pleasuring their spouse. So that's why we don't do the dating thing. I started my daughters out very young. I started out my sons very young. They've gone into relationships as virgins, as young men who have not had baggage, who have not had certain aspects of life going against them, such as their father. I feel as though I'm successful out of 11 children and 2 more which I've just received. We'll see how that turns out in 10 years. But I want these children to grow up and be strong children so they can be strong adults, so they can be strong in their convictions in their household, strong in their relationships, strong in their morals, strong in their pursuit of God. It's just my perspective. May not be yours. You may disagree. And truthfully, I don't mind. That's all right. Disagree. But if you agree, then you agree. So with that being said, I would just suggest you help your children be children for as long as they can. Because at 12, 13, it starts to melt away. By 16, 17, they're entering into adulthood. And you know as well as I know, we don't go back. There's no more summer vacations. There's none of that stuff. I don't care how successful you are in life, how much billion money you make and all that. You're only a child for that little bit. And it seems like adulthood is that big. Don't let them waste it by trying to be somebody's girlfriend and boyfriend, trying to sustain a relationship when they can barely sustain themselves. They don't even know who they want to be in life, but they're trying to be something to someone else when they don't even know how to be it to themselves. So, that's just a little bit from Professor Wes Oblivion, Professor of Hoodology. My people.